In a twist of geopolitical hugger-mugger, Joe Biden, not Keir Starmer, appears to hold the ultimate authority on whether UK ordnance targets Russian soil. Curious, to say the least. You would think that when we trudged to the polls for the general election, we would have noticed if Biden was on the ballot. He was not. Yet, here he is pulling strings from afar, commanding the use of our Storm Shadow missiles by Ukraine right into the heart of Russia. That's practically a war drum banging. And poor Keir Starmer, seemingly content to be Biden's marionette, nods along. Makes you wonder if swapping him for a White House intern might give us clearer answers. Biden is cool with our missiles making a debut on Russian soil, but American hardware, off limits, declaring war by proxy, but not with his toys. So, what is the BBC whispering? They are reluctantly admitting that Biden might green-light Ukraine to use Western-made long-range missiles deep within Russia. Meanwhile, the caveat remains, no American weapons shall cross that line. One might wonder, with Joe at the helm and Keir just nodding along, are we Brits simply pawns in a larger geopolitical game? Amidst all this, the US Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, alongside our own Foreign Secretary David Lammy, parrot the line that Russia invited this upon themselves. While there may be some truth in that, it conveniently overlooks the not-so-delicate dance macabre of NATO's eastward expansion post-Berlin Wall, a dance that certainly didn't sit well with Russia. So here we stand, potentially on the brink of a significant escalation thanks to decisions made over our heads and across the sea. And what of Putin's stance? He argues that enabling Ukraine to strike inside Russia with Western weapons directly involves NATO in the conflict, a claim not without its merits, given the complex ballet of intelligence and military aid that would be required for such operations. He warns that the use of NATO weaponry against Russian targets would be seen as a direct act of war, casting the involved nations into a state of open conflict. This is not a mere rhetoric, it's a stern promise of escalation. If Western weapons are used on Russian soil, what repercussions might we face on the international stage? History tells us that such actions can spiral quickly into broader conflicts. Are we ready to navigate the diplomatic storms that would surely follow? Moreover, how does this align with our public stance on international conflict? The UK has always voiced strong support for sovereignty and territorial integrity. Principles thrown overboard many a time, now seemingly at risk again. As we digest these developments, one must ask, what is the end game here? Is it deterrence, punishment, or Starmer merely wanting to play with the big boys on the grand chessboard of international politics? So where does this leave us, the casual onlookers and unwilling participants in this global drama? Mere spectators or acquiescing actors in a script written far from our shores? Either way, the stakes couldn't be higher. Let's keep our eyes peeled on this unfolding saga. Tap that like button like it owes you money, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest releases.